Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Debt Collection 101 here on Our But You. So we're joined by a very special guest. We have Melissa Nash with ARI out of Florida. Thanks so much for joining us, Melissa.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm excited to be here.
No problem. We also have another first-time guest, or whatever you want to call him. He's not really a guest because he works here at Our But, but Mike D. joining us for his first episode here on Debt Collection 101. So thanks, Mike.
Yeah, thanks for having me on here. Finally, it only took about a little over a year to get me on here, so very excited.
No problem. So what we're going to be talking about here is a little bit about events, attending trade shows in the industry and everything like that. Melissa runs one of the conferences in Florida. So Melissa, can you give us a little bit of background on yourself for anyone who might not know you, and then tell us a little bit about your event in Florida?
Thank you so much. Well, my name is Melissa. My company is ARI, and we're a full-service debt collection agency located in West Palm Beach, Florida. This year, I have the privilege of serving the collectors in Florida as the president of the Florida Collectors Association, and that's a part of ACA International. And so our event is coming up on September 23rd at the O, and it's pronounced O, but it's spelled E-A-U, O Palm Beach. And so we're really excited to offer such a wonderful venue to come. And I'm glad that you're going to be joining us.
Always. Absolutely. We love the shows.
Very excited. All right, so it might be obvious to you and me, but can you explain a little bit about the difference between attending a session at a conference rather than reading a blog post online? What makes the element of being there in person so much more engaging?
The difference is that everybody does both. We all do the webinars. We love the webinars that come online. It gives us the convenience of being in our office and learning and kind of listening. But what we find, and I'm sure that everybody listening is doing it, that we all multitask. So while I'm learning online and I'm there with you, I promise you I've got a split screen going on. I'm returning emails, I'm reading something else. So I am listening and I'm paying attention, but I'm not really giving it that true attention that it really deserves. On the flip side, when you're at a convention, you know that most people learn more from the person sitting on their right and their left, and just as they do from their speaker. So many times the speaker will say something very enlightening, and somebody will write a note, and then the person beside them will write a note, and there's so much information that's just shared that's right there. That's really the value of being face-to-face and giving yourself both of those opportunities.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of our customers in particular, I mean, I've talked to a bunch of them, and they're intimidated to go to events for the first time. Most of the time they don't want to send a full bunch of people to the event. They got to go themselves, so it's a little bit, it's overwhelming. Feel like they might not know anybody. So what advice can you give somebody that's a first-time attendee or that's attending an event alone?
So I'm going to tell you that if you've never attended an event, you're not sure whether or not to attend an event, or you want to sit in an employee, I promise you, let me just do a selfless plug. Florida Collectors Association is the first place you have to come to. We are fun, we are dynamic, we are engaging, and nobody stands in a corner and left alone. So, you can say that, I'm not really sure, I don't know how to put myself in, I don't know how to introduce myself, but just show up and ask for me, and I promise you're not going to be there. But the great thing about our association is we spend so much time talking to strangers all day long on the phone. We're trying to negotiate the close, we're trying to negotiate the deal, we're trying to get to the other side. There's so much camaraderie when you go to these events that you get to meet with like-minded people. It's really a great time, it's a great educational experience, and I have made lifelong friends attending these events. So I'd encourage you to just take the plunge, jump into the deep end with both feet, and just come on out and make sure you find me and say hello if you come to Florida.
Yeah, any of these, so there's the people who may have gone to the big events, the big ACA like international event, and there's a big difference between those and the statewide events. The statewide events are so much more personable. I personally like them so much better because of what you just said. You're running this event, you're forcing people to engage with each other, and it's just, like when we went to our first statewide event, someone like you was running the show, and they forced us engaging with people. They were bringing people over to us, introducing us to everybody, and I personally loved it. I thought it was way better than the giant trade show, because I feel like you kind of get lost in that giant trade show.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right, and my experience with the Florida Collectors Association is exactly what you said, because it really gives the person who's attending and or the person who's exhibiting the opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation. You're not overwhelmed. You're seeing that person, and really in every business, whether we're the collector, whether we're the negotiator, whether we're the salesperson, everything we do is about the relationship and building rapport, and that's what you're allowed to do in a small, more intimate environment.
Sure. And I can make a testament to that because last year was our first year at the Florida, or myself, the first year at the Florida conference, and I'm pretty sure before we even set up our booth, you came right up to us and introduced yourself, and it was a blast from there. So it was a very fun time last year.
And you know what I want to say is, I don't know if you guys did it on purpose or not, but in business, I tell everybody, you need a unique selling proposition. You need something that makes you memorable. You need something that makes you out there. You know, I love your classes, you know, I love the different things that you do, but you know, everybody listening may not know that you guys showed up in Miami Vice suits last year. And you may not have done it on purpose, but color coordinated. I mean, you guys were like so dead right on, and it just really added to the fun of the event. And I think that it drew people to come over and say hello to you as well.
We might be bringing those back this year.
Try to be out there a little bit. What are you doing this year?
It's a secret. It's a secret.
Okay.
It might be something similar, but we got something in the works.
Good.
I still got the blue suit, though. I wear it every Saturday.
Perfect.
Yeah, so, I mean, kind of piggybacking off the last question, another perspective someone might have that has never attended a conference is, you know, it's expensive and it doesn't seem like a whole lot of work is being done. It's kind of just golfing and partying. You know, can you explain the value, if not, you know, not only having fun with industry peers, but also mixing in the social aspect with that into your learning?
You know, I'm going to tell you that I don't care what the expense is to the employee and or the employer, the return is going to be 100-fold. The investment into the relationship and the education is so unbelievable. I'm going to tell you as a small agency owner, again, I have to reiterate that the best value that I have being a small agency inside of Florida is I can pick up the phone. I don't have to do the ACA hub to ask a question. I can pick up the phone and I can call one of my fellow vendors and say, hey, I got a question. How does this work? I can call a fellow member. Hey, how does this work? I take the education that I learned. If you don't have the ability to sit there and develop that relationship and develop that one-on-one, what I love so much about Florida Collectors Association is we don't work in this competitor type of environment. We're all here to look at one another. We're all here to engage one another to success as an industry. You know, yes, we all try to get market share, but we don't step on each other. We do everything we can to raise the one another, raise the industry, raise the bar for being a great company, organization as a collaborative, and really providing it. So without the value of investing and being there, and I'm going to tell you as a small agency owner, and I fit in that 52% category of ACA of 9 employees or less, I don't miss an FCA. I don't make all the ACAs, but I don't miss the FCAs because it's my neighbor that lives in the same state that gives me more than I get from the international. Not that I don't learn from them, but I get more from the local.
Awesome. So just one more thing, I guess, that I want to go over. Do you have a personal experience, maybe a success story that you can share, whether it's with you and somebody else that you may have met at an event, or something that you witnessed of why they're so important?
You know, I will, and I'll tell you a couple different stories. When I first started in FCA, the very first person that I sat beside at my first networking meeting was David Kelly. Now, David Kelly may not remember the fact that he sat beside me, but I remember the fact that I sat beside David Kelly. And this was the point in time where Florida was making a lot of changes. We had a wonderful relationship with the OFR, and the debt collection as a whole was going through a movement that we had to have all of our licenses reevaluated, and agency owners had to go through background checks. And I kind of made the joke, and I go, a background check? And he looks at me and he goes, why, are you worried? And so obviously I'm sitting here today, and there's no reason to be worried. But, it was great making the camaraderie. And so the Preferred Tampa is a phenomenal company. I've really enjoyed my camaraderie and my relationship with them on the other side of the coast. But on top of that, it's getting to spend quality time with vendors such as yourself. Because to take a small agency like an ARI, we may think that we're too small for a company like an Arbite. We're too small to take on these new technologies. We're too small to take on this because only the big companies can afford something like that. It's the ability that I can have a small one-on-one conversation with vendors like yourself to realize, hey, I'm not too small and that I can't afford not to have a technology like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's perfectly put. So everyone watching, I'm sure you're going to be buying tickets now for the FCA conference in Florida. So Melissa will see you there. But that's why you should attend events and why they're so, I mean, they're so beneficial. I love going to them. Everyone here loves going to these events. Everyone looks forward to them. So if you like the video, like, subscribe. Thanks, Melissa, so much for joining us. I appreciate it. But that's it. See you all next time.
One last quick plug.
Yeah.
We have just a very few hotel rooms available, and the hotel is on the beach, and the O is the former Ritz-Carlton. So if you want one of those rooms, you better sign up now. We'll always have room for you for registration, and we can work with finding some other hotels. But if you want one of those oceanfront rooms, you better jump on it right now.
So you get a vacation oceanfront view and an educational event.
And it's a very affordable price.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Mike
Thank
D,
you.
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks everyone for watching. See you next time.
All right, bye now.
Bye.